Okay, let's just dive right into this. Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're breaking down a seriously powerful paradigm shift. We're looking at a concept that absolutely flips the script on how we view achievement, setting goals, and, honestly, our own potential. We're going to explore the absolute core tenets of what it means to have unbreakable discipline. Now, I want to challenge you right out of the gate here. Ask yourself, what actually happens when motivation finally fades? We all know that feeling, right? That initial rush of excitement when you set a massive new goal. You feel literally unstoppable. But we've got to confront a very real problem, and that's the trap of relying on that fleeting inspiration to get what we want. Seriously, what happens when that excitement just completely vanishes?
So let's get into section 1, the end of motivation, when the feeling fades.
Think about this quote for a second. Discipline begins when motivation ends. Just let the profound reality of that settle in your mind. Motivation is not the main engine. Actually, scratch that. It's really just the temporary spark to get the fire going.
See, motivation inherently has an expiration date. It ends. It's a temporary emotional state that, honestly, is going to inevitably fail you at some point. Discipline, on the other hand, is exactly what must begin when that initial excitement runs dry. It is the reliable engine that takes over when you simply don't feel like doing the work anymore.
Which brings us perfectly to section 2, the power of consistency. Earning success daily. Now, understanding discipline conceptually is one thing, but how do we actually apply it in real life? Well, success is earned through consistency and small daily steps. This totally destroys that whole myth of overnight achievement. It rips the idea of success right out of the clouds and grounds it entirely in relentless, consistent action.
It's a simple formula, really. Step 1 is establishing that consistency, just showing up. Step 2 is executing those small daily steps. Stacking these tiny, incremental actions day after day without fail, that's the real secret sauce. You aren't taking these giant, exhausting leaps, You're just taking small steps, consistently. Moving right along to section 3, the champion's mindset. Moving when others quit.
There's a definitive behavior that separates the elite from the rest of the pack. Champions train when they're tired. They actively push through their own fatigue. And others, well, they quit. It's really a binary choice. When true discipline is required, what's your default response going to be? Do you lean into that exhaustion or do you just stop? Because it all boils down to this stark reality. Winners keep moving. Winning isn't about always feeling energized or super inspired. It's fundamentally about continuous forward motion. It's having the grit to take that next small step even when your body and your brain are literally screaming at you to throw in the towel. Let's look at section 4, overcoming mental limits. Stop waiting for perfect.
Listen, you absolutely have to stop waiting for the perfect moment. Because let's be real, perfection is a complete myth. You must start today. And most importantly, you need to recognize that limits only exist in the mind. The obstacles holding you back aren't usually physical realities. They're mental narratives that you've just accepted as the truth. Limits only exist in the mind. The exhaustion, the barriers, the endless list of reasons we tell ourselves we can't start or can't keep going, it's almost always just mental friction. It's an illusion, and you have the power to break right through it. And that leads us to our final part. Section 5, start your journey today. The key message.
The ultimate takeaway from this whole explainer isn't just to understand these concepts on an intellectual level, but to actually execute right now. Start today. Stop procrastinating. Put those small daily steps into motion immediately, without sitting around waiting for some magic surge of motivation to carry you through.
So I'm going to leave you with this final provocative thought. Motivation has ended. Will your discipline begin today? The choice to step into that champion's mindset, to apply this unbreakable discipline, and take that next small step, well, that's entirely yours. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and remember, keep moving forward.